WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thanks for joining us tonight at 10. A 12-year-old Montgomery County boy is still fighting for his life after he was mauled by a pack of dogs. The vicious attack now has county leaders considering stricter rules to help prevent it from happening again. Quentin Smith, he speaks with supervisors about a potential dog ordinance for the county. He joins us live now in the studio with more. Hey, Quentin.
Scott, county leaders say this is by far one of the worst incidents that's happened in the county. Right now, there's not a dog ordinance, and as a result, the owner of the dogs involved in the attack will not face any charges. However, this incident has now prompted county leaders to consider creating an ordinance. The vicious dog attack that happened to 12-year-old Aiden Green in this ditch along Sawyer Loop this past weekend still lingers on the minds of many people in Montgomery County.
Young kid on spring break trying to enjoy himself, and for this to happen and for the parents have to go through this, I'm just devastated by it.
The devastation struck the community so much so that just days after the attack, county leaders met inside this courthouse to discuss the idea of drafting up a dog ordinance for the county. At this time, board members say they're still brainstorming what rules they want to enforce and how they want to enforce them.
Well, Monday when we met, we just discussed it. We got with our clerk of the board, and we advised him to get probably ordinance from other counties that we can look at and try to go by them. See what their approach is of how they doing things in the county with nuisance dogs or dogs that's running wild or loose like that.
District 3 Supervisor Willie Townsend Jr. says since he's been on the board, this is the first time he's heard of a dog attack in the county. In fact, he says dogs being loose or not on a leash hasn't been a problem, which is one of the reasons why the county never had a dog ordinance.
County is broad. It's hard to speculate how many loose dogs out there without the citizen getting involved. Say they see one running around or advise us or advise our sheriff department to, come look at it. And like I said, this incident that happened, it was a first for us.
However, in light of this tragic incident, board members say it's now time for a change.
We have been getting calls, and with this situation, we don't want it to happen to anybody else. So, like I said, it's time to be proactive instead of wait to be reactive on an incident that might happen on down.
Now, the board will meet again on March 29th, where they will continue to discuss implementing an ordinance. Supervisors tell me they are confident that an ordinance will get passed in the near future. Scott?
Thanks, Quinn. We do have an update tonight on 12-year-old Aiden Green. He's still being treated at a Jackson hospital. He does remain in ICU and sedated to limit his movement. We spoke with a family member today who says Aiden has been undergoing daily procedures to clean the multiple bites on his body. Animal Control Officer Arlen Pearson tells us the 6 dogs have been tested for rabies, and the results did come back negative. Time now to toss things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson with a first look at our first day of spring forecast. Hey there, Keith.
Spring officially here, Scott, and those first spring showers now across North Mississippi. You can see some of those wet roads there in downtown Oxford. Some steadier rain right now building on in. We talked about this. It will be in and out, but generally speaking, 1/4 of an inch or less. A little bit of some gusty wind too on the leading edge as this moves on in, but it's not really going to be a big player for us. And notice how we are already clear in eastern Arkansas and parts of the Delta. So this will move through tonight. By the time you wake up, it looks like the rain is done. We will wake up to temperatures around 40 degrees. The rain will quickly move away, and we will enjoy a lot of sunshine that will be developing tomorrow. Highs getting back into the 60s. Your full forecast in just a few minutes.
The Mississippi Emergency Management Agency is helping tornado and flooding victims with rental reimbursement. MEMA announced the Temporary Housing Assistance Program today. Now, it will help residents that were displaced for at least 72 hours from their homes due to the storm's impacts. The program is designed to provide temporary housing for owners and uninsured renters that don't have a safe place to stay. A Columbus center will open up at the Trotter Convention Center. This all starts Friday morning at 10 o'clock. Another center will open the same day at Saltillo City Hall. There are a number of documents needed to apply. You can find those on our website at WCBI.com. The centers will be open from 10 until 7 Monday through Friday and 9 to 6 on weekends. Governor Phil Bryant plans to sign the fetal heartbeat bill into law tomorrow morning. The parties on both sides are already weighing in about potential impacts and backlash. Courtney Ann Jackson explains.
Thursday will be somewhat of a repeat of history. Last year, Governor Phil Bryant signed the most restrictive abortion ban in the country into law.
Sit here about half hour. That'll be fine with me.
The state was sued and a federal judge ruled the law unconstitutional. The state's still appealing the decision. So why now? Why another anticipated court fight?
It is 100% an election ploy, and that is really upsetting as a Mississippian, as a lifelong Mississippian, to see legislators using people of this state as election fodder is unacceptable.
Another point of debate has been the cost of the current legal challenge.
Of that was $56,000 that we've spent so far.
And what's likely to be additional cost for the heartbeat bill challenge, but supporters say it's worth it.
No cost you can put on a human life, because we don't want to kill out our generation and generations of people, our lovely, beautiful children, knowing what they can become. There's no cost you can put on it.
Most advocates have said the bill will effectively ban abortions because most women don't realize they're pregnant at 6 weeks, the time when a fetal heartbeat is detectable.
Mississippi has the highest volume of searches for self-termination of any state in the country. So we know that people are already looking for ways to do this on their own, and they do this because access is already so limited.
We know they can get help if they really want the help. They don't have to hurt themselves or their baby.
Courtney Ann Jackson, WCBI News.
A nearly 7-year-old case is going to cost Choctaw County and Sheriff Cloyd Halford $250,000. Jessica Jouch was arrested in 2012 on a drug indictment. She would end up spending 96 days in jail without seeing a judge. Video evidence would also clear her of the crime. Well, she sued Choctaw County and the Sheriff Cloyd Halford in federal court, but District Judge Sharon Aycock dismissed the case. When Jouch appealed and the appeals court reinstated the case. Well, this week a federal judge in Aberdeen ruled that the county and Halford were liable. The jury awarded her $250,000. Well, there could be a 7th trial in the Winona quadruple homicide case that is more than 2 decades old. The United States Supreme Court heard arguments today in the Curtis Flowers murder trial. He's accused of killing the owner and 3 workers at Tardy Furniture. 5 convictions have been thrown out. The Associated Press reports the High Court is likely to throw out Flowers' death sentence and conviction. Many questions centered in today's arguments were about whether District Attorney Doug Evans improperly excluded African-American jurors. CBS Morning News will have more on that tomorrow morning. The Civil Service Commission rejects 2 Columbus police officers' appeals of disciplinary action. Officer Jared Booth was appealing his suspension set by the mayor and city council 5 months ago. Booth's attorney says the officer feels the decision wasn't made in good faith. City Attorney Jeff Turnage says appeal requests have to be filed within 10 days of a suspension, and Booth's appeal is too late. And the committee agreed upholding the city's decision. Investigator Reginald Adams was appealing his firing. It came after Adams reportedly drove an unmarked city vehicle to another town to apply for a police chief position while on the clock. Adams claimed the city's decision was political. Chief Red Shelton's recommendation to City Council was suspension with no pay. The committee upheld the city's decision, saying it acted in accordance to the proper rules.
It's appropriate to have a little bit of a day in the line on the first night of spring with the warm moon rising, that full moon rising earlier this evening. The clouds coming on in. Great picture right there from Teresa. Your spring 7-day forecast is coming up next. Stay tuned.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
A pretty nice sunset in the Columbus area. Those high clouds drifting on in about 7 o'clock this evening, foreshadowing the showers we have out there right now. But a good chunk of today was dry and sunny. Same story tomorrow, just this band of showers we have with us right now. Some steadier rain mixed on in with some of this. It's just moving on into the Starkville area and Tupelo, but raining pretty good out towards Pontotoc and Bruce, Calhoun City. But notice is basically done right there along 55 west of Water Valley. So it's going to be in, it's going to be out. and already clear in the Delta and eastern Arkansas with cooler temperatures back that way. So here's the big picture. Rain goes away. Clouds will thin out tomorrow morning. Our Thursday should feature a lot of sunshine, much like today, once we get going. And as we get into your Friday, tons of sunshine too. Saturday, probably mostly sunny. A subtle increase in cloud cover and more clouds on Sunday. Maybe a few showers, especially across our northwestern counties before a bigger system approaches. And that will give us a better chance for some rain as we get into Monday. But with this system tonight, generally speaking, 1/4 inch or less. That's the way it's looking. But higher rain opportunities as we get into early next week. But basically dry and sunny for the next few days. 52 in Tupelo. Sustained wind at 9. We've had some wind gusts over 20 miles per hour on the leading edge of some of this cooler air coming on in. You can notice the 40s back in Memphis and in Little Rock. Will be settling down into the 40s tonight. Recent wind gusts above 30 in Jackson, up to around 30 in Tupelo. So a brief burst of wind, some rain. The clouds tonight, they'll thin out tomorrow morning, and notice how we're back up to the upper 50s by noon, into the low to mid 60s tomorrow afternoon. Winds from the northwest, a little bit breezy, 10 to 15. All things considered, a great first full day of spring around here. Low to mid 60s across North Mississippi. Low to mid 60s across parts of West Alabama too. So things are looking pretty good as we get into our Thursday. Slightly warmer, right around 70, closer to the Gulf Coast. Here's your AccuWeather 7-day forecast. This is where we're headed. 64 tomorrow, 37 tomorrow night, 68 Friday. Still chilly Friday night, 39. Back up to around 70 on Saturday, 73 Sunday. A better chance for some rain and storms by Monday, Scott, and then cooler again by Tuesday and Wednesday.
There's one classroom in Lamar County where you won't find an adult in the room. That's because health sciences teacher Stephanie Coleman considers herself a big kid. She teaches 10th, 11th, and 12th graders at the Lamar County School of Technology. Coleman says teaching teens is a lot of fun. She learns from them just like they learn from her.
Every day is a new day. They have taught me so much, some things I need to know, some things I didn't need to know. But it's just the excitement of it. I like to have fun myself. I have a big kid inside of me.
Love her laugh. All right, to nominate your favorite teacher, just visit WCBI.com.
WCBI's Educator of the Week is brought to you by Food Giant, where your neighbors are the owners. You're watching WCBI News at 10 with Scott Martin.
Welcome back, everyone. Breastfeeding in public has been a controversial topic. So what does it mean to be a baby-friendly facility? We learn more in tonight's Health Talk with Baptist.
Hi, I'm Susan Spencer, Director of Women's Services at Baptist Memorial Hospital, Golden Triangle. Tonight we will discuss Baptist's baby-friendly designation and the best way to get mother-infant bonding off to a good start. The need for early bonding is well recognized by obstetrical, pediatric medical, and nursing research. At Baptist Hospital, we encourage skin-to-skin contact for at least the first hour after birth and as desired by the mother. This provides quiet time for mother and baby to get to know each other. Many infants will make their own way to the breast, and most will breastfeed if given this opportunity in the first 60 to 90 minutes. Babies who breastfeed early have fewer problems with breastfeeding in the following days. We encourage mothers to keep their babies in the room with them throughout the hospital stay, regardless of the method of feeding. We often hear that mothers are tired after giving birth while they're expected to keep their babies with them. Studies actually show that mothers rest better when the babies are with them. It's an important time for mothers and babies to learn about each other. They learn to recognize and respond to smells and cues. What better place than in the supportive environment and care of our well-trained staff? We believe this sets them up for the greatest success when they are discharged home and on their own. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist, when we discuss how exclusive breastfeeding can help mothers achieve their breastfeeding goals.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital, Golden Triangle.
Mississippi State and Ole Miss are going dancing on different sides of the country, and our sports team is right behind them. We check in next in sports.
Sports coverage of the NCAA tournament is brought to you by Wade Incorporated. Bank First, a better way to bank. And visit Columbus, the city that has it all.
Currently here in downtown Columbia, South Carolina, because the Ole Miss Rebels are getting ready to take on Oklahoma in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Now, it is Ole Miss's first trip back to the NCAA tournament since 2015. Ole Miss has a better record than they did have in that tournament a few years ago. Ole Miss coming into this one as the 8 seed against the 9 seed Oklahoma, and it's a tough matchup. 8 and 9 seeds are normally one of the tougher matchups just because you're typically going up against a teammate that's fairly similar to you. And so that's definitely going to be the biggest challenge for Ole Miss. They're playing in the South region. That game for the Rebels is going to be at 11:40 Central Time. We'll make sure to bring you the highlights and all the updates coming after that game and see if the Rebels can pull off and make it into the second round of the Big Dance. Also, Mississippi State headed to San Jose, California to take on Liberty. That matchup going to be a few hours before Central Time, so you'll have to make sure you're up and ready and paying attention. Our Tom Ebel will have reports from there with the Bulldogs, and hopefully for them too, they could pull off. This is their first time getting into the Big Dance since 2009, so hopefully they can get into the second round as well. Head coach Kermit Davis and head coach Ben Howland, both with plenty of experience in the NCAA tournament. Ben Howland had plenty of runs when he was back coaching at UCLA, and Kermit Davis was there recently when he was head coach at Middle Tennessee. Like I said, we'll continue to bring you updates from there. That's going to be it for sports. Reporting here in Columbia, Courtney Robb for WCBI Sports. The last look at your forecast is coming up next.
Welcome into beautiful San Jose, California. Tom Ebel here in front of the SAP Center in San Jose, the site of the NCAA tournament. Courtney just talked about it in sports. Here for the Mississippi State Bulldogs in their first NCAA tournament appearance since 2009, preparing for Liberty. We'll have all things Bulldogs coming up tomorrow from here in California, all throughout the day on WCBI Sports. We'll also catch up with the Mississippi State women's basketball team as they prepare for Southern in their first round matchup. Make sure you tune in at 6:10 all over the place. We'll have more from head coach Vic Schaefer and some of the players over in Starkville. So what a crazy turn of events. It's 8:30 here. I have no idea what day it is, what time it is, but hey, hanging out on your TV, just saying hi from here in California, making sure you know we got all things covered Bulldogs here in California. But I tell you what, I was a little disappointed coming in today. It's still a little bit chilly. I was hoping for some warm weather here in California, hoping it's a little warmer in California. Keith, take it away with that last look.
Tom, you missed it. It was in the 80s there just a few days ago, but tonight out there it's chilly. Here we've got some chilly rain moving on in. We'll have a lot of sunshine here. It could actually be warmer here this weekend than it will be in California. So Tom, if you're still listening, I'm sorry. Come back.
Miss out. He's going to miss out.
He is. Oh, well.
He's there, we're here, right?
Hey.
So it'll be fine. All right. Thanks, Keith. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you back here tomorrow.